Is New York 5, Pittsburgh 4.
All right, so as the bottom of the sixth ends with the Yankees in front 5-4, Roberto Clemente was just retired. He had 9 hits, though, in the World Series for the Pirates. He hit .314 during the regular season. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast tonight, Vera Clemente, Roberto's widow, is in the audience. Every time he is seen on screen here, whether he's just warming up, whether he's stepping into the box, whether he's actually at the plate, catching a routine fly ball, every time there's a reaction in the audience here. Your husband throughout baseball, but especially here, your husband is not just respected or admired, he's revered. What does it mean to you to watch him play 50 years later?
It's like, I know for us, it's like always with us in spirit, you know. And I always remember, I want to tell the fans here, that he used to say, he loved Pittsburgh and his fans so much. He said, if someday the Pirates decide to trade me, I will quit because I will not play with no other team or only with the Pirates. He loved this city so much and the fans. You know.
Of course, if the Pirates had ever been crazy enough to try and trade him, there would have been a complete mutiny aboard the pirate ship, all the fans. So to this day, you say you feel his presence?
Mm-hmm. Yes. We, every day, you know, I see people on the street that they talk about him, persons that they were younger, you know, in those days, and they're still, you know, talk about him, and he's something very, very special.
We're glad you're here tonight.
Thank you.
Bobby, you started that Yankee rally capped by the Berra home run with a base hit. During the regular season in 1960, you had 1 homer and 26 RBIs. In the World Series, you had a homer, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 11 RBIs, no, 12 RBIs, the homer was a grand slam, and 11 base hits, and you hit .367. In 1964, you got 13 base hits against the Cardinals. October was good to you.
Well, the Yankees were in a lot of times. I got to play a lot of World Series games. I had 30 consecutive World Series games. So I was just thinking as we were watching, the Pirates had a great ball club, but if you look at our number 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Roger was MVP both in 60, 61, Mantle 62 MVP. And if Kubek and I could get on base, we had a chance to score some runs, and that's what happened a couple innings ago.
When Mantle got the base hit up the middle, I heard you, Dick, murmur, I should have stopped that ball.
Believe it or not, 50 years later, I should have knocked the ball down and made a play. It's one of the plays that's haunted me for 50 years that I did not knock the ball down.
Sorry to bring it up again. Michael Keaton, as we mentioned, is out in the audience. How much of this kind of matches your memories of the Pirates of your boyhood?
Well, there are, boy, I don't know where to start. There are so many things I remember and observations that I'm making right now. First of all, one of the first observations I've made that I think should be pointed out is I look down at the Deacon, Vernon Law, and I think to myself, what an extraordinary head of hair this man had. That's my first. The first game I saw in Forbes Field was a night game. And I remember walking by, there was a place called, the drama of everything, the drive out, walking through all these guys in white short sleeve shirts and walking by the Home Plate Cafe where you guys would be smoking cigars and you'd smell beer coming out. It was unbelievably dramatic and fantastic to me, you know. And so we walk into stadium, and it was, I can smell it to this day. I can see it. I can remember how green the grass was, and you would, very often have to sit behind a beam because we didn't have a lot of dough and we didn't have great seats. But I sat behind, and I can see that number on his back. We sat behind the great Roberto, number 21. Now think about that. In the late 50s, and in 1960, in 61, I think he batted .351, correct? He won the batting title, I think, in 61. And I often think now, not only is he, count the number of black players. There are not that many.
Only 3 or 4 on the team, on the Pirate team that
Now
year.
let's talk about the amount of black Latin players. Almost none. And I often think what it was like to live in a city like Pittsburgh or Cleveland or any city, New York maybe not so much, and be not only black, but Latin. The first thing I used to think about is, geez, where did the poor guy eat? What was he going to have, pierogies? I'm sure the guy thought, get me some Caribbean food. For God's sake, get me some black beans and rice, someone, please.
Vera, where did you and Roberto find cuisine that reminded you of home in Pittsburgh?
I used to cook.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember every time we traveled from Puerto Rico for the season here, I used to bring products from Puerto Rico. Since we cannot buy here, sometime in Ohio, 2 hours away from here, we used to go and buy some products from Puerto Rico.
What you also forget about him, he was a complex dude too, but what you forget about him is how unbelievably handsome he was. I mean, I was like movie star handsome.
There are baseball cards. When you guys walk through
I
here,
have that card.
In one of his early cards in the 50s said Bob Clemente,
Right.
because it was felt, and sometimes the announcers would refer to him as Bob Clemente, because Roberto sounded too Hispanic, and
Yeah.
they thought that it would make fans uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And what Roberto always insisted upon was that he be granted respect for that. And when he was interviewed after the World Series, he always spoke at least partly in Spanish.
In 1960, when most people would have cowered,
He would say to Bob Prince, "Excuse me, I want to say something to my parents in
Yeah,
Puerto Rico."
yeah.
And then he would speak in Spanish, and Hispanic fans have told me how much that meant to them at that time.
Well, these guys now, talk to those Latin players now, man. He's the guy.
Yep.
He's the god, Sorry, I'll shut up.
Nope, it was all good. It was all good. And now, here's the deal. We go to the 7th inning. We're coming to the home stretch. The score is 5-4 Yankees, but it may not stay that way. Back to the game.
Score is New York 5,